What is shaking, internet? This is Salts bringing you some more how to tank Dragon Soul for dummies. This will actually be heroic Dragon Soul. This is heroic Hagara, which is the 4th boss in Dragon Soul. I'm pretty much going to cover this trash really quick because the trash is, well, number one, I didn't film it all, and number two, it really doesn't matter. Like, this trash, you know, you don't have to do it on heroic technically, you could do it on normal. It doesn't matter. But either way, the trash is pretty much the same. Don't stand in the blue stuff, and I don't know what happens with those jumpies, jumpy things. But either way, yeah, that was normal. So that's pretty much how it is. So what we're gonna see here is you're gonna see a couple people die because somebody's not paying attention. But either way, we will have what we do in this is we actually design what we want to do. We want to okay. So for the lightning phase in LFR. I guess I haven't shown a normal video of this. I might never show a normal video just based on time and everything. Normal video would be the LFR video. You just literally at the lightning phase you run around in a circle and you're good. We're not going to let that happen here. You actually, in 25 man at least. I don't know about 10 man, but in 25 man we actually set up an order for each color. As you can see here, we have the marked red, green, yellow, and purple, I believe. And what we do is we set up an order for everyone to stand in, so that you go to your place during the lightning phase, and it just makes one big chain and gets everything done. It's really nice that way because you can get everything out really quick. That's the only way to avoid the damage, especially in heroic. The damage is pretty ridiculous. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do here is I'm gonna try and cut this out in just a minute, and we'll go ahead and skip forward to the actual fight. But so yeah, we are gonna set this order up, and it's not really that much different than normal, and normal isn't that much different than LFR. There are two new mechanics, one that happens in normal and one that happens in heroic, that I will be covering. So let's go ahead and start this fight here. This is... Oh, there's one last thing before I actually cover this. Let me show you this. So if you see her axes, she actually has little frost flakes on them. That means the first special phase she will do is the frost one. The frost one takes significantly longer than the lightning one. So what we do is we have hunters attack the thing and then feign death, so that they reset her and she'll randomly spawn as a frost or lightning person. So with any luck, she will show up as a lightning person next, and then you'll actually get to see her start with the lightning. So either way, we always have lightning because that's just easier on the DPS and much easier to do. We've been doing heroic Hagara for a couple of weeks now, so it should be fairly simple. Either way, okay. First, let's just go ahead and go through the basic mechanics of the fight. In LFR. They're not that different. Basically going to tank it. One thing I do want to pay attention to, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the LFR video, but what is it called? Focused Assault. Focused Assault is a little channeled ability that she does, and when she does Focused Assault, she will stand in one place. In normal, she will stand in one place and you can just back up and totally avoid the damage. Once she starts channeling it, you step a few steps back, and she won't move, so she will stop doing damage completely. That's how you do it in normal, and that's great. Awesome. In heroic, she can move while doing focused assault. So you have to be able to eat. You have to be able to eat the the focused assaults. You cannot avoid them. She will chase you down anyway. You can't do anything about it. So if you're tanking in heroic, you need to be able to survive a focused assault. You might want to pop little cooldowns, but she does it so often you can't have a cooldown for every single one. I really would only use little cooldowns if you get below 50% health on a focused assault, and big cooldowns if you need it for other things. But either way, the cooldowns aren't that important in this fight. It's more of a DPS race and all that other stuff than anything. But I'm gonna go ahead and focus or show you this now. So you're going to be doing normal damage to her. You're going to be tanking her just like normal. In heroic, you're not going to be stepping back from the focused assault. You're just going to take it. Great, and then all that good stuff. What we do, and you'll notice the other mechanic is going to be. Oh wait, that's not one of the new mechanics. One of the new mechanics is actually something that happens in normal and heroic. In between phases, so after a lightning phase or after an ice phase, she goes into this normal phase again. But she will create ice blocks on people, and they have to run to, or they basically get trapped in ice, and you have to break them out. What, as you see here, we've got a little blue marker, and the blue marker is there. So okay, real quick, let's just focus on this. The lightning phase in 25 man, especially heroic, is very important that you get your spots. So you'll see here, I'm in the middle, so that everybody can kill stuff, or everybody can still hit the ad. And now we all run over here. We make one big cross chain. So as you see, we're doing the cross, and nobody moves, nobody does anything, and boom, we instantly get it. That was very quick. That was nice. So that was good. And one more thing, when you do this, I didn't notice this in my LFR video, but after you do that, you have 10 seconds or 15 seconds of increased damage on the boss. So that's why we bloodlust there. That's why we do lots of other things there. Here is the ice tomb. Here is one of the new mechanics in normal and heroic. Specifically normal actually shows this. But all the blue people will get trapped in ice. If you saw that they had little blue arrows, you'll see it again in the next phase. But you'll see little blue arrows and they get trapped in ice. As a tank, you want to be close enough to these ice blocks that you know, the DPS people will actually you know, cleave or AoE those ice blocks down, because you want to be able to AoE those ice blocks down. But it's you also they do line of sight, so you can't have healers be on the wrong side of those blue things, or you're gonna get screwed over. So either way, here's a very interesting way. I don't know how everybody does this, but this is the frost phase. It's very hard. Number one, you avoid the falling icicles. I'm not sure if that's new in LFR or new from LFR or not. But either way, you want to do as much damage to the crystal, but do not get hit by the ice wave. Also, you have to avoid icicles. So see those icicles? It's a big blue circle. You don't want to stand in those because they will knock you back. If they knock you back, you're going to fly backwards into the ice wall and die. So don't let that happen. Let's see what else. Yeah, it's like very telling them to be careful. You can't hear me on vid. This is the heroic mechanic, Frost Flake. Frost Flake is actually a debuff or an ability that gets cast on you, and you can't do anything about it. What happens is you have to get a healer to dispel it, or it has to fade off of you. And whenever it gets dispelled or fades off, it drops a slow patch, like a big ice patch, kind of like a Hunter Frost Trap, or not, a Hunter Freezing Trap, or I don't know what it is, but it's the really big slowdown one, and that's really bad because once you get slowed down, you're going to kill all the melee. So melee is all going to run out and run around in the circle with the ice wave. Ranged has to do better DPS, so they're in our group. They run to the middle during that ice phase and just pop a bunch of cooldowns, and healers go with them and all that good stuff. But melee cannot get hit by the ice thing, and they can't be hit by the frost flake. What am I talking about? I need to focus on the tanking aspect. The problem is the tanking aspect is not that hard. Basically, you tank her, and then you try and get close to these ice blocks so that everybody can AoE the ice blocks down, so that DPS can go back to the boss. Other than that, there's nothing here. You know, you have to use cooldowns on in heroic. You have to eat the focused assaults. But other than that, you'll never get the triangle as long as you're tanking. You'll never get the ice block, so that's not a big deal. And otherwise, it's exactly like LFR, because I mean, all tanks are going to be melee, so all tanks are therefore going to be doing you know, the melee run, which is around the corner. Don't get hit by the ice wave, and don't get hit by the falling icicles. The only important part in heroic is that frost flake. let me go ahead and zone in on that. Frostflake is something that will be randomly cast on a party member, and when it fades or when it gets dispelled, it drops the slowing patch. The only way to do that and not die is to make sure that slowing patch is not close to melee or is not close to anybody else, because if you slow somebody else down, they're going to get trapped in that ice wave and they're going to die. So what we do, in my guild at least, when you get that Frostflake as a melee, you run into the bubble just slightly so that they can dispel you, and if they dispel you, then the frost patch isn't very far out of it. And then you just run and you try and get away. The only other thing about it is that you don't want to get hit by the ice wave. It's possible. I actually showed you in this video. If you watch it again, I got Frostflake and I ran into the bubble, but they didn't dispel me fast enough, and the ice wave was going to kill me if I went back in. So I actually waited inside the bubble, and as a tank, you can do that easily. You know, you can just pop a little cooldown if you want. But other than that, you just run back in after the ice wave's passed. That way, you can actually go behind it. You're behind the melee, but that's all you need to do, really. But either way, that's the big change in Heroic. That's really the only change in Heroic that I know of. In Heroic, you have to watch out for the Frostflake. The Frostflake is the only big difference. Everything else is exactly the same from normal. Normal, I think normal has the falling icicles. Yeah, I know normal has the falling icicles. I don't know if LFR has it. So here's Frostflake. As you can see here, I'm gonna run inside the bubble, get the watery entrenchment. Yep, there you go. It gets off me. I probably sat in there a little bit longer than normal, but I'm bad. What can I say? And yeah, so you can't see it on this video, but actually our ranged is sitting in the middle of the bubble, killing everybody, and all the healers are with them, healing them up as much as possible. So that's why they're taking so much damage. And we need to watch out for that falling icicles. There you go. Kill those. And another Frostflake on me. I run into the bubble, get it dispelled. There you go. Oh, another. You can see the big traps there. Ouch! I get hit by a giant icicle. I just barely make it out there. Okay, there you go. Perfect. And that's the end of this boss. That's how you kill Heroic Hagara. Really, the only big difference is that Frostflake. You have to learn, and it's not much of a tanking thing. It's more of a healers need to know when to dispel it and not screw over the melee DPS. Other than that, you're good. You've got you just tank it. It's really not that hard for a tank. Just remember that you will have more damage coming in because you cannot avoid the focused assaults. The focused assaults are going to be doing significant amounts of damage. But anyway, that's Heroic Hagara. Hopefully you've learned something from this. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. So, as always, you keep it salty, Internet.